almost everyone in Aba is industrial. So Aba is not a place for lazy people, lousiness. That place is an industrial. So when going to Aba, you know that you are not going there to steal, because once you steal and you are caught in the act, automatically you
know what is it.
You know what is it. So if the same application is made here, you notice that vices will be on barest minimum. So these boys, they believe that nothing happens. We go make we do, and if we drag him, that him come on, tag or remove something from his vehicle, he will come down and he will pay the money.
It is yet another beautiful edition of the Facts and Rants, and on today's edition, we will be diving into topicalities that deals with the road transport. And of course, you would agree with me that for those transit persons that are usually on the road 247, there's a lot that goes on the road that is not really said, or probably, point at with the torch to look at what is really going down there, especially for the bus drivers, the keke drivers, the tricycle drivers, and all of that. So on today's edition, we'll be diving into such topics and digesting it properly. Joining me on the show, I have with me my amazing co-host, Luchi Wogu, who will be joining me hands on head with this particular topic. Luchi, what's up?
I'm good. How you doing? Merry Christmas.
Same
Merry
here.
Christmas to everyone out there.
All right, I have with me today our distinguished guest who is absolutely joining us for the very first time in the person of Mr. Promise Onove. It's a pleasure having you on the show today, sir.
Thank you.
You look stunning on the outfit.
I told him I wanted the outfit.
You look
I
stunning,
did
by
look
the way.
nice.
Of course. This is an understandable moment where I'm meeting with you once again after after a long time.
Yeah.
After a long time in an establishment which we both collided, and then we had some good experiences, which would translate into the future, even at the present, from the present to the future anyway.
All right, so I'd like us to go into today's topic, basically, where we'll be looking at the effect of illegal taxation from unauthorized groups and how passengers complain of hike of PMS that affects transportation. But I'd like to start with, asking this very, very first question, which is, what is it with, the road transportation business that, tends to be on a high demand for every individual? I mean, right here in the South, if you get to calculate the amount of commercial vehicles, I think it's almost over what you call over the private vehicles. It has like a huge ton. The gap is like enormous. So why is everybody on demand to want to own a commercial vehicle and then want to start up with it?
This is not the Nigeria everyone dreamt of.
Okay.
You understand? You see, all of these things didn't just come up on its own. There is actually a philosophy, the first cause of things. In this regard, there is a first cause of the hiking, in transportation that is making everyone want to be on that ship. Now, let's look at the premium motor spirit, what they call the PMS, or the fuel talk about. A liter of fuel now is about 1,100 naira.
Yes.
1,100 naira.
That's on the filling station.
The
For
filling
black
station.
market.
Black
1.5.
market is about 1,200, 1,300, 1,500 consecutively.
Yeah.
And the funny part, it even ranges
On location.
with locations and with time.
Time, yeah.
So buying in night is more expensive.
If you are buying premium those spirits by 12 o'clock,
They can sell it for
It's more
2,000.
expensive.
is that around 2,000, 2005. You will buy. You must buy.
Definitely.
You will not buy. You will not park your vehicle on the road.
Yeah.
Understand?
Mm.
So even the proposed the proposed price for this premium motor space, by the federal government, they said it 1,013 naira thereabout. You know, it's not still encouraging because the transport will still be high.
Now, looking at, let's move away a bit from the hike in the fuel price, because I've heard a situation. I've been in a vehicle where back then when the fuel was around 1817, and a driver gets to buy 10 liters, you can multiply by 18 or 17, and sometimes it runs into 13, 14, 15, 20,000, as the case may be. After buying it, you find out that that same money you're getting as your profit, you're taking it to buy another fuel the next day. Now, the question is not even what I'm saying. The question is, for those particular individuals that stands on the road to either harass drivers for 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 what do you call it, Italy, or what do you call it? And sometimes it especially for those persons that are tickets, for those persons that are very conversant with mile 3 in Port Harcourt. Once you just park your vehicle at a point, you settle them.
Even when they load your
You
car.
settle different individuals. You settle police. And before you know it, you're left with nothing. The question is it that the union is not aware of this, or they are just turning a blind eye and pretending like this isn't happening?
Okay, you see, in that regard, if I should tell you that there are dignitary bodies that gets a cutting edge of that money that those boys collect, you'll be amazed. There are some persons that money gets to their hand. You'll be amazed. If they tell you that this man, that they actually remit some of this money they collect to his hand, you'll be surprised.
Is there some form of generated revenue for a particular
A
project?
no, not
Or
a
it's for
project.
for individual?
For individual.
Is it constitutional?
That's never constitutional.
Then why is
You
they allowed
understand?
to keep going on?
Well, that you may not know. You understand? But if you are a road user, you should know at a point that sometimes there are some security operatives along these channels that the money gets to their hand. That means they are accounting for it. You understand? But in short, this money is when they're being collected by these boys. A percentage of it goes somewhere. That is why none of these boys have ever been arrested. Have you seen any Agbero being arrested on the road for collecting or for harassing a driver? Have you seen something?
Not at all. Not
No.
at all.
You will never see so. That means
they work hand in glove.
They actually know what they are doing. Both the security, the policemen, the traffic warders on the road, they know what they are doing.
But this does not set a pretty good example for for the transport union and the transport individuals, the drivers especially, that are on the road. Because I've seen scenarios where, in the course of not willing to pay a ticket or not willing to give these people, there's a form of accident, there's a form of violence being incited on the driver. And in the case of and in the case of trying to defend yourself, something wrong might actually happen. Do you understand? And it's not as though this money being collected forcefully or via pretense. This money is in one way or the other. They're actually using this money to empower the security force, or trying to create some sort of a conducive environment that would aid transit business to a different level. It's just within this set of persons. But then again, do you think the government has a proposed plan for the transit union or the drivers in general?
You see, when you talk about government coming into this,
Mm.
that would be amazing. Anyway, it's going to be fine. It has happened other places, just like in Aba. You can park in any bus stop. No, there's nothing like Agbero or police that will come and say, okay, bring this and bring that.
So,
In Aba, yeah,
sorry,
it's a freeway.
sorry to cut you. Yeah, it's. Don't you think that this, to an extent, is almost like you're not employing persons? We might look at it from the angle that this is pretty not good, but to an extent, there's some level of empowerment, even if it is not legitly.
Let's see from this point of view.
You get, because if you take these boys off the street, then they'll start coming to people's houses.
No. If you see, let's look at Aba again.
Okay.
Almost everyone in Aba is industrious.
True.
So Aba is not a place for lazy people, lousiness, incompetency. That place is not a. That place is an industrious place. So when going to Aba, you know that you are not going there to steal, because once you steal and you are caught in the act, automatically you
know what is it.
You know what is it. So if the same application is made here, you notice that vices will be on barest minimum. You understand? So these boys, they believe that nothing happens. Go make we do and if we drag him, that him come on, tag or remove something from his vehicle, he will come down and he will pay the money. You understand? And nothing happens if they go about, with destruction or removing anything from your vehicle. You will still pay the money. If you even go to fight,
they will beat you.
Other groups of their gang
will regroup.
We have to come back and descend on you. And now you are not just losing your car. You may even lose your valuables, or even the passengers' valuables. They will go about, ransacking passengers. That is why when such kind of thing happens, passengers will start finding their ways. I don't know. So if in such case, and you are a passenger, just leave away and move away from that.
The question is, it's almost like before you pass from a particular
From one place to
point, you're
another.
going to see a police, operative or a linesman, I don't know, staying there to, help to secure orderliness, which we are grudgingly accepting that they are securing orderliness. So in situation when this happens, are you trying to say that the police people, operatives, or the security operatives will turn a blind eye as well to this scenario and then pretend like nothing is happening?
That is it.
Let's not say 100% for sure. In some scenarios, like you said, my mom always said that police people always have extra clothes in their bag. Whereas anything will happen. I want to drag a question from that part now. You will see these security operatives active on the road as you're passing. Baba, Baba, no, they tell me they don't want to listen to you. You have to give to them. Now, because they're actually collecting real food from these people, when the Agberos also collect their own, you cannot come and start questioning some of what you're doing. So how do we correct these boys now when the security operators? Is it that this is also constitutional for it's part of their constitutional right as the policemen to collect from passengers or drivers rather, they will collect
and still collect from these boys as well.
They will collect from these boys. So because they are doing it, the boys are also doing it. Who will
correct which person exactly?
You see, I'm like I told you, I'm a commercial driver, bus driver. So I've driven for some years now. I've seen all of these things. To the point I don't argue anymore, because if I'm arguing, it's pointless. It's needless.
Because that's become a norm.
It has become a norm. They will always look for a way to hold you down, and holding you down is spoiling
business for
your business for the day. Think of it now. When you have already prayed in the morning for a successful day and
Mm.
such kind of. You just have to avoid it. The only way we avoid it is going into a negotiation.
Okay.
Okay. Since it's like this, what is the way forward? They say, okay, you have to do this, you have to do this, and if it is within your reach, you do and walk away.
Mm.
You understand?
Mm.
And most of these vehicles people drive,
Mm.
it's not their own. It's not a personal owned vehicle.
Mm.
So what if you are contravened the whole day, and you go back home, and your principal, which is the owner of the vehicle, asks you, okay, how far my money? What will you say? Will you tell the person that you were held by one policeman or one task force?
Okay.
Will you do
They
Okay,
that?
will not
now
want
you
to.
people as National Union of Road Transport Workers, don't people have a role to play in ensuring that there must be some checkmates in place for both the police officers and both district? Because this both are even becoming more of touts. Before they will not, even if you just park, you've not even private vehicles are suffering. You'll say, pay parking fee for a place that is not even supposed to be, you're not supposed to pay parking fee for. Shouldn't you people, the road transport organization or the leaders of that particular group, put these people into certain checks, at least for us to have a safer road?
You see, that is why the government has to come in.
Mm.
Just the way it is in Aba, you will not experience any of this harassment in Aba. You understand? Everything lies now in the government.
Mm.
If the governor of Rivers says, okay, he doesn't want to see any agro in any bus stop, that is it. I don't know if you understand. It's only the governor that has that right, that prerogative right to say, okay, I don't want this to happen again. That ends it. You understand? If Governor Fubara comes in now on air and say, okay, he doesn't want this to happen, that is the end of it. Not that thing will not happen again. Because even if it happens, definitely he will have to go and resource his team. Come on with a particular task force operation that will cope that particular incident. If at all there will be any. Because I believe so much in the government too. I believe so much in the government. The government has that power to create an enabling environment for its citizen.
Okay.
The government has every right. In fact, they have the power to make things right.
All right. Now a bit away from the tax force and co. Let's look at the drivers.
Okay.
Because you would agree with me that the level of nuisance that is being caused by driver is on the high increase. It's either they're constituting noise pollution, air pollution, you know, they are into one, they're just constituting nuisance generally. So I want to ask, before the union issues out some level of permit or some level of um, acceptance for you to be a part of a union, are there some criteria? Are there some check and balances that are being made to ensure that such drivers are stable? Are they getting any report from psychiatrics? Because there's some way these people will behave, and you will just be forced to ask, are these people normal? You see a vehicle, dragging the
With a
street
truck.
with a truck.
And when you person that leave me, I don't go.
You see a keke man trying to overtake
He wants
a
to pass the
trailer.
middle. Nothing
How?
He wants to pass the middle. See on that car here. See
He
him.
did do am. In fact, there's one I
No.
entered immediately. The guy did a skill. The keke went with one way, bent trailer there our side. I was shouting, Jesus, Jesus. The guy say to the fear. You can just imagine such scenarios. So I'm forced to ask, or they just issue our licenses to these people and say, drive.
There's
It is
nothing where
easy.
people
No,
are
It's
even
another means to make money. Go and drive. Because if that is how it is, that is like why we have more deaths
No.
told.
It's a misconception you're having.
Okay,
Yeah, it's a misconception.
please prove me wrong, sir.
Because
Please.
these are
You see, you cannot compare, you know, a tricyclist driver
Yeah.
to that of a motor driver. You know, motor or motor vehicles are, you know, four four wheels.
Mm.
Okay, that of the tricycle is just one in the front, two at the back. And this tricycle, the keke people, you know, they are not superstitious drivers. They will never be superstitious drivers, except for them that has actually gone through or that has undergone some levels of, you know, driving uh, trainings. Okay, those are the ones you actually deem different from other napep drivers.
Okay.
You understand? You see, most of these other boys, the ones that drive that keke, the one they call normal keke, I don't think any of them has a license.
Okay.
And the Federal Road Safety Commission don't issue driver's license to keke napep drivers.
Really?
What for now?
I don't think they do.
I think they need to, because
And
these are the people
anybody
that
will know
constitute
they
the
will never
most
go.
nuisance. These are the people that constitute
They
the
would
most.
never go. Because no, they would never go.
But if
If
you
it
could
is-
remember back then when we had bikes, I've heard bikes say they have license.
yes,
So what's the difference?
I think that was, then there was no tricycle.
this
yet,
yeah, there was
and
no drive
bikes were like one
tricycles
of the
as at
major
that time.
forms of transportation other than cars, because people felt it was faster. So it's not really much people, except you had crowd.
Yes.
They said there was a crowd, but apart from crowd, individuals, you can even see 3 or 4 people on bike because it's faster. So that's why they needed to have that license.
So you feel this you feel this keke shouldn't have the tricycle should
No,
have
they
license?
should, of course.
But you should
It's
understand
of-
something. Keke has actually grown more than normal buses, like in numbers.
And
Because
most of them are just
when you sorry, sir, when
Okay.
you see them in mass on the street, up to 20 in a line. When you go to the park, it's not like that.
And you know one thing, it's more like they have this particular mindset.
Yeah,
They feel like they die more than once. You know, they feel like they die more than once. And for most of them that has actually upgraded from keke to keke bus,
To keke
that is the
bus.
problem. They take that same mindset,
that's the same spirit.
that same spirit
people are the
to
They
problem
carry
we have
from
in
that
this place.
side to other side. That's the problem we're having. Like myself, I'm a licensed driver. You boarded my vehicle several times.
yes, very lively and conversational.
Of course, that's how it is. You know,
Yeah.
when you board a vehicle, you know, of someone that is superstitious.
Mm.
You understand? That actually knows what he's doing.
True.
That's what you get. You get peace of you just drive and
Mm.
you know I've seen situations where people some passengers, they actually applaud me for my services.
The driving skills.
Yeah, you know, these are our buses, these are mini buses. You cannot compare it to Benz and other other privatized vehicles.
Yeah.
This one will drive don't really have that balance compared to the other kind of vehicle, that kind of private vehicle.
Okay. So
You know that the speed limit should be observed. You understand? That is why they made it 3 plugs
instead of 4 plugs.
instead of 4 or 5 or 6.
If it were to be 4 or 5,
the rate of you know what it means.
Wala for day.
But
Yes.
But you said something about you as a driver. You have your license complete, and I'm headed somewhere. Talking about license, I know I've boarded. I've lost count of vehicles I've boarded, and in my conversations with drivers, I tend to find out that a good number of them don't even have a license. And to that effect, this has
carry car papers.
Yeah, to this effect, this has actually promoted the level of corruption when it comes to bribery.
Police don't even ask them for license.
They only give
Only
them
papers.
And now we don't know which of the vehicles is stolen. We don't know which of the vehicles is from the one chance people. We don't know which of the vehicles happens to be one that is missing. We don't even know anything about the vehicles, and the only mindset of the passenger is, I'm headed to my house. I'm headed to a destination. Take me there.
Sometimes.
So exactly. So don't you think that this has to be properly checkmated by the union first? Because they say charity begins at home. The union has to put these things together before now airing it out, or better say, making a public service announcement with the government, trying to let people know that if you don't have a license, don't board the bus. Because the level of insecurity is on the high side. We need to start looking at how we can manage and cope this, incident. Don't you think this should actually be a workable
Yes,
plan?
it will be a welcome development. It will be a welcome development if all of these things will be checkmated. And at times when you think like this, you also think like this. We have several unions on the road.
Okay.
The ones that can count, the drivers' welfare. We have the national union.
Mm.
We have the urban, and one other one again. I can't really remember what the name. And other ones on the same road. You see, I may
But
not know.
isn't there a particular one that supersedes all of them?
That of the national union should be an overall.
Okay.
But the essence of to me, the way I'm seeing it, each of these unions, they have their own motive. You understand? They all have their own motive.
So I'm trying to say that the motive is just for them to raise money, not really to implement some rules or policies that will benefit the drivers.
There are some unions. They are not even looking at all that. Yeah, there are some persons. All they are just after is buy my ticket, go to work. Buy my ticket, go to
So
work.
is now the ticket taking the placement of the license that they're supposed to have? Because I feel like police don't even ask them for
If
license.
you not buy that ticket by 10 o'clock, they catch you. Problem.
Now they are much more scared of the ticket
Than
than the
the-
license. Is it supposed to be so? I have you.
I wish I was in a different country. I hear go hear 'em.
We need to start looking at these things.
After the show, we'll go and
Yes.
go and do
So
that
now they
because-
privatize. Their priority is the most for them to get a ticket over
See, I feel
a
like
license.
the way we drag government officials on social media, we should start dragging these people on social media as well. Because the more you drag them, then I think people, they're not dragged enough.
Or should this be a blame? Because I feel like they have more high purchase vehicles on the that are commercialized. Yeah. They should own. They should. In fact, the people that are responsible should be the owners of the vehicle, because I feel like they just buy this vehicle
And give to people that
and
don't
just
have
give it out
license.
like that without
It's
like.
a big drive, yes, for lucky.
No. It's not like that. If you come with such a quarantine test,
Okay.
you notice that people will not have food to eat.
But it's better off. But it's better off to save life than not to have food to eat.
Yeah. I will know
But
that.
life go chop.
We know that.
So
You see-
make life they die for accidents. Is it the talk?
You see, actually, every driver should own a license.
Okay.
That's a necessity. Every driver should own a license. But looking at it, there are different people that drive from different backgrounds. You may not even know what the returns are. You don't know if they are driving all the money for the motor owners. You may not know. You understand?
So now,
But I'm not against them getting a license.
Okay.
I'm not against them getting a license. License is your right. You understand? I know there are times where the unexpected happens. Now after the event, what comes up matters. As a licensed driver, although if accident happens on the road and you have been asked, where is your license? And you don't have a license, you go straight to jail. You understand? So if a case where you have a license, at least a part of the burden will be less.
You just know that it's just a ticket that you need to
You
make
understand?
provision
Or repairs.
on services.
Yes.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
So I'm not against anybody get your license.
Okay. Now,
But again,
Mm.
this license of a thing and the paper of a thing. At a point, some drivers have all these things, both the license and the paper. If they refuse to pay that 100 naira or 200 naira, you'll be parked on the road
with your license.
with your license and the paper.
So this means that the union is not active because there has to be some level of unionism where they
Yes.
have a particular lawyer or they have a particular person in authority that they would say, okay, this is how this should be. This is our strategy. This is our policy. This is what we have done. If you're caught or if you're stopped, this should be the way to follow. Do you understand? Because if we start prioritizing the wrong things, it tends now to affect the modus operandi of why this particular union is being created. And second of all, I want to add to what you say. I feel like, for what is what, the reason why these particular individuals are not really seeing the need to get licenses because of underage. You have so many underage drivers. I have seen them. There are so many underage drivers that are not even up to the actual age to get a license, a car license. You see them on the road.
Really?
Yes, I have seen them.
I've not really seen. I've not seen.
Even
I
aside
have seen.
on
Down
the
from the
age,
keke down to
No,
the
it's
Okay, no,
usually
no.
bus.
Well,
yes.
I'm talking
But
about
the bus.
the.
Now,
If it is for the tricycle, that's what I'm saying. Tricycle, majorly they after restrictions was placed on them, they now run by the streets, not on the major roads.
And if they must run on the major road, it's usually at night.
No, they do run.
They run on the major road now.
Especially
Yes, I
that
do.
judge.
Yeah.
They give them a time frame. They now
Not
they
even now. Nobody gives them any time frame. Nobody. The ban was issued on them. Do not run on so place. Don't run on so place. But
they started with from 6 p.m. They will run. They increased to 4 p.m. Increased to 3 p.m. Increased to 12 p.m. Now it's now normal.
Now, one problem.
you see what I'm saying?
One problem is still going to
So is it that they don't have a
normalize
proper
it.
policy or a proper agency that will be on the look for this
I
particular
don't know
thing?
why it's like that particular law was enacted during the regime of Governor Wike.
Yes.
You will never see any of these tricycles along Iwofe Road, Iwofe Road, Ada George Road. You will never
But now
see.
they run to Ada
My
George.
you will not see any of such. Just on the street, from the end to end, or from the beginning to the end, or from the end to the beginning. As such and such. That was the ban issued on them. And they were following this up strictly. You will never see a keke on Ada George.
When Wike boys catch you.
You will never see a keke or that Iwofe. There was a memo for it, which was sent across, and they all observed it perfectly. But after some time,
They
the governor,
adjusted.
there was an adjustment. And you now see keke that will run from running here down to location. From location, keke will even want to run straight to Choba. You see, but all these locations, keke don't drive again. But I don't know what is happening now.
Okay.
You go to Ada George, as I'm talking, to go to Ada George now, you see a keke that is running.
And it's not supposed to be so.
I think one of their problems is that once we as Africans have normalized the thing, it becomes very difficult to adjust. Because they've normalized it already, it has come to state of before it's actually going to be removed or readjusted to what it's supposed to be. It's going to take more than one government. Because since the first government did, the second one will just come about it goes back to that previous norm that was there. So this normalization of the wrong thing is what is disturbing us as Africans. We are going somewhere.
I think I heard something. I heard that Senna is actually making arrangements
Put them
on
in
how
check.
to, to stop the operation of these tricycles. Totally.
But I don't think that it's going to actually be a menace if they are stopped totally.
True, because
Because
they
this
will,
guy
they
is
will take
going
that
back
same
on the
spirit
street.
to the keke buses.
No, it's not even because even
and
not all of them will be able to afford a
I
keke
believe
bus.
so much on saying. I believe so much on saying if there will be a total ban on
Keke.
keke tricycle.
And it should be something for these boys
So
to do.
yes, saying we have to devise a means of
Keeping those boys in check.
keeping them in check by any of these developmental features.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like him so much. He has the masses at heart. So his basis will not be on just removing provisions made after removal. There is something to anchor on, which will serve as a
Okay.
as a means of livelihood.
Okay, so let's move into the security part of the transport system. Over time we've been hearing the cases of kidnap, the cases of one chance vehicles, and all of that. Now, from the Union Eye, I want to ask you this question: how would one that want to board the bus, right, get to understand or get to know, mere looking at the bus, that this particular bus is an authorized vehicle from the union? If I board this bus to my destination, it will take me home, not take me to somewhere that they would slaughter me. Or a one chance vehicle, because it has almost happened to me twice, but thank goodness I God came through.
Yeah, before you move on, for this one chance, I'm not going to say it's 100% accurate, but it's very accurate. You see, when you enter a bus, or it's mostly for taxis. I don't know about the buses, but I can give you for the taxis. Once you enter a taxi and there's one person at the front, two people at the back, I don't like the idea that somebody wants to come down inside the middle. It's very risky. Now, when I go enter and I want to drop, no. When you want drop, I go come down. Do you understand? Or even at that point in time, the person wants to come, somebody else comes down. I would rather go to the front and be at the person at the door. I prefer staying at the door. That staying at the door, it may cost you an accident, but it will save you from them. Because once anything happens, you can open and jump. And also, before you enter any car, check for that safety lock. If it is locked that you cannot open from the inside, don't enter. That way, you need to study that thing very well. If it's locked, that child, they call it child's lock. Okay. Once it's locked like that, you cannot open that car from the inside. And also avoid them winding up.
All right. So let's hear from.
Yes, yeah. I've also been hearing this issue of one time. To an extent, I had an open encounter. Although I was driving, although I've closed work for that night, I was driving down from a warfare, got into that gas and market area, and I saw a guy that came out of a taxi, and he just went down. I don't know if to me, I assumed that he went to get something on. But I didn't move. I was at the back of the vehicle, not very close anyway, but a level of social distance. I wasn't really but I was observing the whole scenario. After the guy went back into the vehicle and drove off, and I moved closer and was like, what about another go? Who's an go? Before one of them just and I was already seeing somebody crying in their midst crying. and one of the guys were like, that vehicle that just drove off here now. One of them came down with a vehicle and collected all their phones.
That's funny, but it could be annoying when you're in that situation.
And the moment I tried to go after the vehicle, but I couldn't. And there was a checking point in front, that pepperoni under the bridge. There was a checking point. I'm going there. And before I got there, the vehicle, that was when they were passing the vehicle, like letting go of the vehicle. I was shouting and shouting from the back. that those boys were armed, they were criminals, they were.
I thought you used to carry extra clothes in their bag.
Say nobody. I was not. So it's just this is not a team of the union, or because the union will not. They are all humans too. They all have feelings, so they will not still be on the road by 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, trying to monitor motorists and or their union drivers and all that. So that is now, you know, the duty of the police to do. You understand? I've also seen a situation. I was somewhere at Happy Food just after Ajiba that job. I was at Happy Food that it was actually raining. It was a rainy evening, and I stood there waiting for somebody, and I saw a taxi that you know that just came and was like stretching hand. Are you going? Are you going? And I saw two persons, a guy and that they gave just a man and a woman. They were like, you sit at the front, the other one sit at the back, or one came down from the back and let the man enter. Quickly, I rushed towards where they were doing that arrangement. I said, "Okay, come on, my friend, come down from this vehicle. Don't enter this vehicle." I shouted. Even when before they even stopped the vehicle, I was seeing the arrangement from the inside. I said, "Dad, don't enter this vehicle. Wait for another one. Another one is coming." He just told the girl, "Okay, come. We are go." That was it. I was standing somewhere. I saw the whole they were on umbrella. I saw how they were arranging themselves in the vehicle. I knew that no. I will not allow that to happen. I came. It was raining. I went under the rain. I said, no, enter this one, no enter this one. And they did not enter.
Immediately, the vehicle
zoomed off.
Wow.
Immediately I shouted, don't. The man just came back. Put the umbrella. Dragged
Formation.
the girl he was holding. That was it.
So what is your advice to every passengers out there?
Passenger, it's just that although I know that God lives. God is the greatest. When boarding a vehicle, you use your head. You understand? Use your head. You don't wait for that idea of somebody coming down from it or somebody. No way.
I know the enter.
For what for now?
You've been there before me. Sit down inside.
You've been there. Stay where you are. Even when I'm driving and somebody tries to do that. In fact, if you are entering the front seat, Oga, see, I have to tell you straight. I'll tell you straight to the face. See, if you are seated here, you are seated here. Sit down until you get to where you're going to. I don't want a situation where somebody wants to enter you want to do like this or you want to do like this. I don't want. As you are entering this front, let it be that somebody is coming. You adjust. You shift. So the other person will see it. I don't want that idea of because
coming down in front.
You're making me to lose my customers. You understand? So as you are coming to that front, I will tell your guy, okay, this is where you be like, no, say if person want enter, go shift to. I have to tell you straight, face to face. If you don't want to enter, you go away. You understand? That is it. If anybody wants, you don't okay, go shift for that place. If anybody want, you go shift to. That is it. You go shift.
That's not
if you don't shift, you come down. I will tell you, okay, no verse, come down. Carry your money and go. This is not the kind of passengers I want. That is it.
All right. So I believe you've learned a lot following the conversations we had today about the road transit, the corruptions that happens down there, and most importantly, the insecurity that trends on it. And of course, don't forget to follow us up on Tipok TV, especially on all our social media platforms for more content like this.
Yep.
You heard me. More content like this. And yes, thank you so much for doing this with
Promise.
us, Mr. Promise. It's a pleasure.
Blessings
Yes.
from the Most High.
Because of that, we cannot wait.
He's not even sound like a lawyer. He sound like someone who's a lawyer. I hear the grammar has been dropping.
Oh my
It's
God.
alright.
You see, if only our drivers could want
Ah.
to be as learned as he is, I definitely know that there's like a whole lot in stock for them. So until we come your way on the next edition of Facts and
And Rants.
Rants, we are taking it up and we are
Merry
wrapping it here.
Christmas.
So it's a wrap.
Bye.